Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome On Tap Bets Live, the first edition of On Tap Bets Live. I'm Cody, joined by DJ and Jose. Guys,
Awesome.
How's it going? How are we doing
Great.
tonight?
Great. Thanks for having me on.
Ready to lose it all.
I'm
ready to
excited
lose
be
it.
here.
I'm ready to risk it all. Here we go, guys.
Yeah.
So obviously, I think this is like perfect that we're doing this. But this is launching right now, because March Madness is the best time of the year. Like I can't think of a better time when it comes to gambling. At least there's no better time of the year, guys. Like I'm excited to hear what you guys have. I'm excited to share what I have. DJ, I know you're excited. So Jose, we just met face to face for the first time, 10 minutes ago. So I feel like I got to do the honor, let you go first. We're going to share our five best bets, and I think we're going to share our final fours and then close it out. So everyone watching, just let us know in the comments what you think, and some good ones I might show in the stream. So stick around, and I think we're going to have a good time here. So like I said, Jose, you want to start us off, man? Show us some winners.
Oh, yeah. So this means my bracket is pretty much locked in, and I can't make any more changes to it. But my biggest lock of the whole tournament in the first round would definitely be St. Bonaventure. And LSU is favored in -1.5. The total is 144.5. I expect this game to be grinded out, high scoring. LSU kept up with a good Bama team last time they played. They scored 79, which was an impressive game, and only lost by 1. They could have probably upset them as well. So, and Bonds also beat VCU, which is a good squad as well. And then I have them just grinding it out, high scoring, down to the wire game. I like a lot of their players. I think they're well coached and disciplined. They're really good on defense, and their scoring percentages are nearly identical to LSU's. So they won't have a hard time scoring on LSU's lackluster defense. I like Kyle Lofton a lot, who's probably like the most underrated player in college basketball, I'd say. And they also have a big time shot blocker in Onsuni, who's a 6'10" guy. And I think he could defend well with LSU's bigs. I like them a lot, and I also like Tennessee -7. I think Oregon State is a little bit there's too much hype behind them. I know they won the tournament, they're in their conference, but I see Tennessee just grinding it out and eventually pulling away late, and I like them -7.
See, on that one,
yeah,
I got to take the other side. We talked a little bit before the show. I did not necessarily love Oregon State coming into this tournament. I don't think they're set up for success. I thought the Pac-12 was a little underwhelming this season. However, in that first matchup, I've been noting two teams that I've been concerned about basically the whole year to possibly drop out early, and it's Tennessee. The other's Iowa.
Ooh, yeah.
Basically, the recipe for a Final Four team has been like defensive efficiency. Now, I know Tennessee has that side of the ball, but if you've watched them play, and one that really stands out to me against a very average Ole Miss team, I think they scored something like 48 points. Now, if anyone scouts this team and they figure out how to actually stop them, an offense that can't really ever get going outside of maybe John Fulkerson, I think that's they're going to hit a roadblock soon. And if you get Oregon State to just hit a couple threes, put them in a hole, a team that plays slowly can't catch up. We saw it in Virginia losing in the first round as a 1 seed 2 years ago. So 3 years, 2 March Madness years ago.
Something about that spread just kind of screams like a trap. I just see the -7 being too high against Oregon State, who's been on fire leading up to the tournament. I just think with that number, I just see something's up, man. I just think there's too much hype behind Oregon State. And I mean, Tennessee, they started off pretty hot. They cooled off a little bit at the end there, but they have the talent, and I think they could probably pull away at the end there. I also like Ohio, which I'm huge on. They're actually my Cinderella team. I like them to get into the Sweet 16. I also think that region's like a very easy region to get past with like the talent and all the players or all the teams. I'm saying, I like them a lot. I know they're +7 as well. I think they could actually win the game and upset Virginia. I think if Virginia is like they slow the pace too much.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they score very low. I think they score 69 points a game, and they allow 60 points a game. I just think that tempo is way too slow for Ohio, who scores around like 85 points a game. Their last 3 games were 86, 89, 83 against really good teams, I'd say, in the MAC. Buffalo's a really good team, Kent State as well. So I think they could push the tempo on.
Didn't Ohio play Illinois in one of the first 3 games of the year?
Io hit like a game winner with like 15
Yeah,
seconds
I remember
left.
I remember the game before that, Illinois dominated. They won by like 30 or 40 points. And then they played Ohio and it was close.
Yeah.
And the spread was like an 8. It was very first week
December,
of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Illinois was like an 18 or 19 point favorite. Ohio lost by less than 5 points or something.
I think it was a 3-point game.
Yeah, like it was a sweat for sure. Just as an Illinois fan, obviously if you weren't sweating if you took Ohio +18 or whatever it was, but yeah, no, they're a very, very competitive team. You know, the MAC, they score a lot of points in the MAC in general.
Oh yeah,
I loved betting overs in the MAC this year. That was always fun, just because you get to just watch points. But
yeah, they're always high.
Cody getting really, I just picture it on a Monday night. Buffalo's playing Bowling Green.
Right.
And he's just screaming at his TV, hoping for 170 points.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah. And there's nothing like it. That said, though, I also have Ohio. So I really like this play as a 13 over a 4. Also, Virginia lost to San Francisco earlier this year. Like, I think that they're very, they very easily could be done early. So
I got
I'm pretty sure that was the first. I'm pretty sure that Virginia San Francisco was like the first game of the year too.
Yeah, it was early.
Virginia was
early.
Yeah. I remember taking San Francisco, so that was definitely a no sweat right there.
Hey, the Dons aren't that bad, but one comment I got on the Virginia side of things is they did just have to opt out of the ACC tournament, and they aren't playing or practicing, I believe, Wednesday or Thursday. They can't step onto a court until then, which means, like, what are they doing? Watching films by themselves in the room? Like what else can they do? So that's another factor that gets thrown in there. And if Ohio's high octane offense and like pushing the pace on them, Virginia, as you said, slows the pace down a little too much. And those teams always are haunted whenever you confront a team that might build the margin a little bit early.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That was a really good point about them like not practicing. I mean, we've seen it all season. When teams go on that COVID pause, they come back and they do not look like the same team before the pause. So I think that might be the best point in terms of like that game for Ohio to at least cover. So no, I like that.
That should be a great game.
We see that issue with Baylor. Like ever since their COVID pause, like, yeah, they've been phenomenal all season, but they kind of like
barely beat Kansas State in the
They lost to Oklahoma State.
Yeah,
which was a big one. And they're a lot of people are doubting them getting into the Final Four, even the Elite Eight. And
they're a good team. I
still think they got some grinders and some. They had 3 people in the first and second All-American teams. So I believe it was. I think it was Butler and I forgot Teague, maybe somebody else.
Yeah.
But
So
they got some talent and they got some blue collar guys that could definitely get it down to the gritty.
I love those phrases. It's the best. You only hear it in college basketball.
Definitely.
On that note, has anyone placed a wager on Eastern Washington, or am I the only guy? Because Kansas has the same issue as Virginia, and I was just like, if David McCormick, I don't think is playing, there goes 12 points and 8 boards, and that's a huge loss going in. And again, if you can't practice until the day before, they're at least going to have a tough struggle the first half, which could be in line for the cover at the end.
Yeah, that's a good point. I completely forgot that Kansas I thought they just opted out. Did they have a COVID a positive test?
They opted out of the Big 12 tournament, not
right.
So they ended up. They're playing. They're just without one of their better players, and that's going to be an issue.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm taking Kansas to win that game in my bracket for sure.
Right.
But
it's a 10.5 spread.
Yeah.
I might have to adjust my bracket a little bit. That spread was something that caught my attention too.
Yeah.
Something was off about it. I know East Washington, I've watched a couple of their games, and they're a high scoring team. And I think they could disappoint Kansas. Kansas hasn't really looked too sharp at all this season. I mean, they've been up there, but they haven't been one of the top, teams in.
They were kind of disappointing, to be honest. Like they were like a top 5 ranked team, and I think they almost fell out of the top 25 at one point during the season. I know they're back. They got back in eventually. I mean, they're a 3 seed, so makes sense. But they, every time I've watched them, they're honestly they're kind of hard to watch, and maybe it's because they are slow paced. So
yeah, they are.
Yeah. So I guess I can share one now. Jose, you've just been sharing all of them, so I'm gonna steal some of your shine here.
Go for it.
So this might be more narrative based, but I kind of like Rutgers -1.5. That being the reason being, one, they're playing Clemson in the ACC. ACC's down this year. Obviously, the Big Ten had 9 teams get in. The Big Ten's been the best conference in college basketball by far. So the narrative behind all the teams in the Big Ten, the ones towards the bottom that got in, maybe the talent really was better in the Big Ten. And, once some of those bottom feeders from the Big Ten get in, maybe they can play better than what people think. I know Clemson, they're solid, nothing against them, but I like Rutgers in this spot just because the conferences. I like Ron Harper Jr. Young's pretty good too. I know their free throws, they don't shoot free throws well, but I don't know. They're a team that I just don't think is going to go away. And also, more narrative fact, they haven't won an NCAA tournament game since 1983, and this is their first time in since 1991. I feel like they're going to take advantage of this opportunity. It just feels like this is their chance to put their basketball program on the map. Honestly, since last year, Rutgers basketball program was god awful, and they've kind of finally righted the ship after 30 or 40, however, I can't do math, which might not be good for a betting show, but whatever. I know a lot of it's narrative based, but when it's 1.5 points, I mean, and it's a 7-10 matchup, it's kind of hard, but I don't know. I've watched Clemson play a little bit, and they did have some impressive wins, but Rutgers also has impressive wins. They beat Illinois earlier this year. I don't think Rutgers is playing as well as they did when they beat Illinois, but they are capable of playing that well. So I'm just kind of I'm kind of leaning on that kind of stuff. Again, it's a lot of it is narrative based, but for some reason I think the Big Ten is going to show out in this NCAA tournament because the Big Ten has by far and away been the best conference in college basketball this year. So
yeah, the one I truly
DJ, you cutting out, man.
We lost him.
We lost him. He froze. Jose,
now?
Oh, you're good now, man.
All right, cool. I don't know what's going on
Good.
with my internet. All right. Anyways, I was just gonna play devil's advocate for a second. Now, I'm not saying Clemson is necessarily the better team, but they do have a lot of strengths that Rutgers like basically does at the same time. Nick Honor gets a lot of steals per game. So does Jacob Young. The only advantage I see Rutgers having over Clemson is down low. Like Miles Johnson is 6'11". Outside of Amir Sims, like they don't have any heavy duty posts over at Clemson. So I think that's where you're going to end up seeing like possibly like the narrative that you said, Rutgers like outworking them. But if that doesn't come into play or Johnson's in foul trouble, then I think it's truly a toss-up. Like these teams are pretty dead even and have strengths in all the same areas. That's all I was going to say before I forgot how my internet worked. Yeah. What's going on?
Any thoughts on that, Jose? I'm genuinely interested in what you have to think on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I like Rutgers a lot. I mean, they were definitely like a team that I was high on at the beginning of the season. They were definitely ranked, so I think they were like 19th, somewhere around there, and then they fell off. They had a rough stretch. I'm not high on Clemson at all. I think they're a slow-paced team. I just see Rutgers being like size-wise just too dominant down low, like DJ said, and I just see them. I could see a blowout in the making. I think the Big Ten makes some noise in the tournament this year. Obviously, Illinois. I'm huge on them. I kind of doubted them to begin the season, and I've kind of doubted them throughout. There was times where I was betting against them, and I know you guys love them, but I was doubting them, and I didn't think they were better than Iowa. I didn't think they were better than Ohio State, and they've just been on a tear lately.
Yeah.
So.
With that, as an Illinois fan, I really love them, but I didn't think they were basically a top 15 team until about like mid-January. It took a little bit to get on the road. Like we saw them play Baylor and they got their ass kicked. Like so
that second half against Baylor was bad. Yeah.
That Michigan game really impressed me the most.
Yeah.
That's how they blew them out. I couldn't believe that. I thought Michigan was probably one of the hottest teams, and I thought they were going to win it all.
It was when they start. It was after Maryland. After they lost to Maryland, Illinois won like 7 or 8 in a row.
Yeah,
they had a dud against Michigan State, the game where Io got his face broken, and then the Big Ten did nothing about it. It should be illegal. Kevin Warren should be arrested. Whatever. But then they haven't lost since. So, yeah,
hats off to them.
Yeah, they're playing well. If I could bet on them in Illinois, I would totally. I don't know, 22.5 points. That's asking a lot, but Drexel is Drexel. I don't know, man.
They also only played like 20 games this season. So
yeah. I just hate betting those big spreads unless I'm feeling real dangerous, like on a Saturday night at like 9 p.m. and it's Gonzaga after I bet a whole slate from like 10 to 10.
I could have sworn every stream I've been on with you, you've taken a Gonzaga spread that is like 27 points or higher.
Yep.
Because they're playing like San Diego or someone. Like, don't say you don't like those big spreads. You love them.
I was just kidding. You know, I really do love them.
I mean, they're big for a reason, you know. So
right.
Sometimes you just gotta lay the money on it.
Is there a big spread out there that you guys actually like? I know we kind of touched on the Eastern Washington Kansas one, but that was like 10.5. And I think we all really, for some reason, kind of like Eastern Washington to cover that one. I know, obviously. Outside of the 1 seeds, obviously Baylor, Gonzaga, and Illinois and Michigan, I think they have pretty big spreads. But like out of any, like maybe one that's more manageable, like that's double digits? Is there one that at least that we like the favorite on?
Not necessarily double digits. I ended up taking this at -9.5. It's, I think, since dropped to 8.5. Arkansas against Colgate. Like, I don't like toothpaste companies, so I'm going with Arkansas. This is a team I put, their future price is actually like currently at what I got them about a week or two ago. I think Eric Musselman's a fantastic coach. They have a really good defense. Again, harping on, it's not the.
Oh no, DJ, you're cutting out again. Oh no.
DJ.
I will say this about Arkansas and Colgate. Colgate, I feel like they both love to score points. If anything, I'm taking the over on that game. I haven't even looked at the over-under on that, but I've watched Colgate a little bit, and they just score a ton of points. I know they haven't gone up against a team like Arkansas, but I've also seen Arkansas put up a ton of points. I feel like their pace is kind of fast too, so I could be wrong on that, but I don't know. I kind of like the over on that more than the spread. That's just me.
Well, I'm back now, right?
Yeah, you're back, man. Welcome back.
This is ridiculous. I'm sorry. Anyways, yeah, Arkansas is actually like a sleeper candidate, or not necessarily a sleeper candidate, but everyone's going to overlook them as a possible Final Four team. I think they're fantastic, especially on defense. Like, I just like good coaches win games too, especially late. We've seen that like time and time again. So when there's Buzz giving me a comment. Anyways, yeah, but like I really do think that Arkansas could like lay a shellacking against Colgate in this position. So that's where my heart is, especially in this first round for a larger spread. I haven't laid anything double digits outside of Illinois if I'm feeling cheeky.
Jose, what about you, man? Is there one you're thinking about?
The biggest one that I've seen was Illinois, and I would definitely lay the points on them.
Good.
I love to hear that. I know
they're playing. Yeah, I mean, I've been down them like crazy, but I think they're just gonna come out and just lay the points on them, and they'll definitely cover that spread against Drexel.
Okay.
But a big spread that I've seen that I think the underdog could cover would be the Alabama-Iona game. I think Iona could definitely cover that spread. With Pitino. Yeah, definitely. He even came out and said that Bama was probably his favorite team to watch. So I'm sure he's got a lot of film on them, and because he said he loves the way they play. So I think he's going to be ready to whatever they give him, he's going to be ready. And I think those guys are going to come out fired up for him. So I could see them like covering, and I did think about them upsetting, but Alabama is definitely one of my top teams.
Dude,
probably my favorite to watch. So,
no.
But I mean that spread is pretty low for a team like Alabama, who's been playing lights out.
DJ, you're just like
you
wanted to slap him.
I like
you wanted
Alabama,
to slap him in the face,
this
man.
This team is good. They're the most analytically sound team in college basketball.
Oh, the guy who loves numbers saying that.
Oh, shut up. Anyways, I got him at 66 to win a title when everybody got hurt like 2 months ago. So when they're cutting down the nets, sadly, I think they're going to do it against Illinois. We'll see. Anyways, I do like Bama. I'm not going to lay the points on that spread. Again, that's a good point, especially under Pitino. He's probably going to his local Applebee's, making sure that he can like watch video there. How did no one even laugh at that? Come on. That was
local Applebee's.
I didn't catch that one. I'm sorry.
That's where he was rumored to be cheating on his wife with a waitress at an Applebee's. So that was like, so anyways, I digress. I think Bama is a good team, especially a Final Four contender. I'm not willing to either way bet the points. I do think Iona could keep it close, but fine. Cody, you're rolling your eyes at
I'll just say this about Bama. Like, it's not fair that their basketball program's good. Their football program obviously is like the best like we've ever seen in our entire lives.
Right.
Like, That said, I do think they can at least go to the Sweet 16. I do think that they'll have a tough time against UConn, though, if Boog Knight just goes off. I don't know, but and obviously UConn would have to beat Maryland. Bama would destroy Maryland. I know that. I've been talking big about the Big Ten, but Maryland is like the one team from the Big Ten that's in the tournament that I'm like, no. I would even be more afraid of Michigan State than Maryland, and Michigan State has to play that play-in game. And really the only reason because of that is because of Izzo and the history and all that. But yeah, I don't know. I think that Bama is, they're going to be tough. Unfortunately, I wish that they sucked, but it is what it is.
Are you, speaking of UConn, are you laying the points with them? Because I did.
I am. I'm in their first game. I am betting UConn -3. I think that they would have had a higher seed if Boog Knight would have never got hurt. I think that they were rolling before he got hurt. I think that they're a sneaky, scary team. And as a 7 seed, I think the last time UConn won the championship, they were a 7 seed. So in this bracket, the one bracket that I made that I know is just kind of like a bunch of toss-ups, I do have UConn in my final game, losing to Illinois. But, this is just a fun one that I just, am whatevering about. But I think UConn, like I said, if Boog Knight carries them and then you get some extra help from some of their other really good players, I think there's potential there, but I don't know.
Oh, look at this.
What's up, man?
Look at this. This is beautiful. This is beautiful.
What's up, Cody?
This is beautiful, guys.
Nice to finally.
Cheers,
man.
So I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with all of you. I know fucking nothing about college basketball, so I'm here to learn from you guys. And what I want from each of you is one first round bet, and I'm gonna go place these things, and I'm gonna track who does the best here. I might lay $50 on each of them.
Oh boy!
Give me one first round team. Can't be a number 1 seed, and I'm starting with Cody.
Okay. Well, I'll just stick with the one I was just saying.
Money lines. That's it. No spreads.
Okay. Well, like I said, UConn. I was just talking about them. I'll take UConn. The spread is -3, but money line, I don't have it in front of me. But they are the favorites, so I would assume it's somewhere between.
That's lame. Give me some upsets.
All right,
let's change this. Let's do upsets. One upset from each of you, and we'll go from there.
Okay. How about Missouri +112?
I'll take it.
That's a 9 over an 8.
DJ.
I'll go with Winthrop +205 since Villanova's best player's out.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, what do we got from Lock Chi-Town? I mean, this guy. If you're not following him on Twitter, like you've hit some ridiculous shit, man. Like you've hit some ridiculous shit. So you've got a big name here. Let's go. What do you got?
Yeah, it's been a crazy ride, but I couldn't hear you guys due to Wi-Fi connection. What was the question again?
I need one upset, money line pick, first round. Who we going with?
That was an upturn class.
My biggest upset, like I said earlier, would be Ohio +7, and they're gonna punch the ticket into the Sweet 16.
I love it. All right, I'm taking all those bets. Put them in the Slack channel for me. I'm taking all those bets.
I gave you 2 of them already.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
taking all those things. All right, I had to stream drop in here. I'm incredibly cold right now. So I need some winners coming up here in the next few days. I wish you guys all luck, but I won't stream drop in all the time. But I may do this from time to time just so I can get my gambling advice, get on out of here. You guys keep doing this. You guys are doing awesome. I love it.
Bud.
Later.
Take care, man. Cheers.
That was hilariously unexpected.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I mean, he's been sitting here, like I can see him, like he's just like not in the stream. I can see him, and I was looking in the Slack to see if like he wanted me to let him in, but he didn't say anything. So I was just like, all right, I guess he's just listening. Maybe he'll just drop himself in. I don't know, but
Cody's the student teacher.
Yeah, I guess. I have like all the controls since I'm the one who created the stream, and so Yeah, guys. I know we said we are going to do like our 5 best bets. We just kind of been all over the place a little bit. I guess that's just how it is. Like the first time we do this, but I don't know. We've been going for about a half hour. Is there any others that you guys didn't mention that you want to mention?
I got one
before we do our final 4 picks.
Yeah, I shouted to Tony before this because he said he was on a cold streak. I'm going with UCSB. Now, Creighton, we don't have to get into it. McDermott kind of lost the locker room with some insensitive comments a couple weeks ago. And I think that actually played, like, if you say something rough to a lot of your players and it offends them, like, they may not want to be playing for you anymore. Now, I know that, again, that's kind of narrative driven, but they didn't also look very good in the Big East tournament. Georgetown beat them. Georgetown isn't that good. No matter what narratives people are trying to push with a 5-12, it's not there. I took UCSB +7 just today. There's a boost over at Rivers, I think at 68%. So like whatever you can get them at a good number. That's one of my last, especially like upset covers here.
Yeah. When Tony dropped in and he wanted an upset, I wish I would have said the one you said, DJ, because I really love Winthrop over Villanova. As soon when the bracket came out, when they announced it on CBS, after they didn't let us celebrate Illinois for another 10 minutes, that I was very upset about because I was very happy and just ready to just break down a million walls. And I watched the Selection Sunday. When I saw Winthrop and Villanova, I went right away to Bet Rivers, and I as soon as I saw that was up, I placed it right on Winthrop because Villanova has looked so bad without Connor Gillespie. And Winthrop, they have one loss. I know they play in a small conference, whatever. They played when you're 23-1, I think there's something more than just playing in a small conference, man.
I swear they make the tournament every year. We can throw out the small conference narrative. They earned a 12 seed from a small conference with that one loss. And again, it was like a 2-point loss. They could have easily gone undefeated. So
they're +6, right?
Yeah.
I at least like that, but I do like the money line play at +205 or something like that.
Yeah,
so I think that's a really good bet. Both of those, I'm going to slam both of them. I already slammed the spread. I'm going to join you on the money line.
You guys got any first fours?
I like Drake. I do like Drake.
Love the Drake.
I do. I mean, they're one of the best teams to cover the spread all season. You love those teams, right? What do they got? They got Wichita State. I think it'll be a tough one, but I think Drake's better than what they showed towards the end of the year. They're another team that I think they had a COVID pause and they came back and they struggled a little bit. But I don't know. I don't like the American unless you're Houston. I just don't like the American. So I think the Valley was up this year. Loyola's also in. So I don't know. I think I know it's +2 or they're +2. So they're not the favorite, but I think they'll give them a run.
I'm pretty sure they moved to the favorite because so many people were betting them.
This Loyola we're talking about?
Drake. We're talking about
Drake. Yeah. Drake. Yeah, Drake's -2, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's swung.
Maybe I read it wrong. I don't know.
No, they were +2.
I could double check. I could double check right now, but I'm pretty sure they were favored. They definitely have like the way better record.
Yeah.
Now this is actually it's gone to a pick 'em now.
Okay, so it's going back and forth, but I like Drake a lot, and that their ATS is great. They beat Loyola, who's a top 10 KenPom team. Which will be a tough match if they beat Georgia Tech and Illinois overcomes Drexel. But the other one I really liked, and I hate to say it because Tom Izzo sucks, but Michigan State's going to win, and swear to God they're going to make a Sweet 16 run just sneaking into the tournament, and it's going to be so annoying. It's going to be so annoying.
January, February, Izzo, April, May, man. Like, it's a thing. Like, it's stupid. I hate it. I'm with you.
John Rothstein.
I'm a fan of him.
Would you guys want to see Loyola and Illinois play since you guys are big Illinois fans?
I don't really have much of an opinion.
They would definitely they would probably play them the toughest. out of anybody in that region for some reason.
I welcome it just because of the narrative, I guess.
Right.
And I would love to see Sister Jean just really mad after Illinois beats Loyola by like double-digit points. I would love to see that. But I don't know. Does it scare me a little bit if they do play? Yeah, because Illinois is a 1 seed and my heart's been broken many times by Illinois my entire life, and they don't get these many opportunities to be a 1 seed. Literally, the last time was 2005. So, if Loyola were to ruin that, that would be heartbreaking. So, I don't know. I actually have Georgia Tech beating Loyola though, in my bracket.
It's a pace thing. I swear. It's again, it goes back to the thing we've been talking about. Those slow-paced teams, if they have a first half that's subpar, they're kind of in a tough position to try and make up ground. And if Jose Alvarado's hitting his shots, that dude's good. He basically put the team on his back though. So,
yeah, and they won the ACC tournament. I know they got passed around because Virginia had to opt out, but they did beat Florida State. Like they're a tough team. Florida State was the best team in the ACC all year. So, I don't know. I think as far as that part of the the bracket, that region, I kind of agree with you, Jose. I think if Loyola can play at their pace, they are tough. But if they can play at that pace, Oklahoma State potentially playing Illinois in the Sweet 16 is kind of scary, but it'd be good for the narrative just because of Ayo Dosunmu against Cade Cunningham. But I think that they have a tough matchup with Liberty as well. I wrote Liberty plus 7.5. How do you guys think about that one?
A pretty good team. I mean, that's the thing. Everyone just loves picking that one guy that they know, like Cade Cunningham, lottery pick, probably the first pick overall. And people forget that he almost averaged 5 turnovers a game. What if he gets flustered and starts throwing the ball away?
Right.
There you go. Like, you might have a closer game than you expected. Now, do I think they're actually going to lose? No, but I mean, I think that covers well within reason. Yeah. What do you think? What do you think, Jose?
I mean, I love Cade Cunningham, and I think especially in the tournament, a big NBA draft pick like him, they always just ball out, and I think he'll be able to carry his team. I think I got them going to the Elite Eight.
Wow.
Yeah, I like them a lot. I think Cade Cunningham that star power could really carry him through the tournament, and he's going to solidify himself to be the number 1 pick.
How do you feel about that, Cody? I don't have to say
the Elite Eight, man. If Illinois loses to Cade Cunningham, he will go to the NBA, and I will just spite him the rest of my life. I will spite him. He will be like what Sean May is to me, and I'm just glad his NBA career sucked. Or even like Raymond Felton, Raymond Felton. He went to the NBA and gained like 50 pounds. It looked like, but somehow still was able to play point guard for like 10 years or whatever.
He's at the Y somewhere, just schooling everyone.
Looks like someone who goes to the Y. Raymond Felton. Yeah. He looks like someone at the Y, just schooling people.
Him and Jameer Nelson.
Yeah. I mean, we've already talked about Illinois so much, man. Like I said, I think they can get through their region just fine. I think their biggest test will be Houston or West Virginia, honestly. But yeah, I don't know.
I just snagged Elite Eight tickets because I'm vaccinated. Let's go. But I bought them today. Shot through the roof, by the way. I went on for the resale an hour later. They were $800. I got them at $100. It's ridiculous. Anyways, wow. But yeah, so let's hope that doesn't play out like Jose is saying, because otherwise I got to sell these and make a profit.
Yeah.
We doing Final Fours?
Yeah, we can do our Final Fours now. I want to hear Jose's because he has Oklahoma State in the Elite Eight. So
interesting bracket.
Yeah,
I do. Mine's kind of random, so I'm either gonna hit good or it's gonna be embarrassing. But
what's the year for it?
I have Gonzaga. Definitely, I think they have the easiest ride to the final. They also have 3 NBA prospects, which is pretty insane. Jalen Suggs is just like lights out. Corey Kispert as well. They're just the best team in the nation and easily the most stacked. They're fast, physical, can get out in transition, score all over the court, and are well coached. So I think they'll easily blow by Iowa if they get to play them. Because I know a lot of people had that matchup circled. But I think Gonzaga's just going to wipe teams out. I also had Alabama, even though I said they could probably get upset by Iona, which would be terrible. But this is probably one of my favorite teams to watch, and I love them the way they play. They can score in bunches, run, shoot all over the court. They have Herb Jones. I also like Shackelford. He's awesome too, and I can see them going deep in the tournament. My dark horse, which I tweeted about a couple of days ago, I had Houston just making a run. I like them to get into the Final Four as well. And my last would be Baylor. And, I mean, they look slow to end the season. They struggle a little bit with COVID. But they have one of the best players in Jared Butler and Mitchell. I also like Teague and Mayer is going to be fun to watch in the tournament. Just that flow. I think he's just going to get after it and just light it up from 3. I mean, they're gritty, and then they could get down low. They could get to the foul line whenever they want. I think it'll be an interesting Final Four, but I like these 4 teams. But like any other year, I think anybody has a shot. It's not like Kentucky, Duke, Michigan State, Louisville, all these teams that are notoriously in it all the time. I think anybody has a shot. And, I mean, I'm sure everybody's Final Four looks a lot different than probably mine or yours, you know.
Yeah. I'm interested to know where you have Michigan at because we haven't really talked about them.
No.
Yeah. I think before the stream started, I mentioned that I had St. Bonaventure as kind of like my Cinderella type team, and I have them beat Michigan in the second round. Where do you have Michigan at?
I have them losing the St. Bonds as well.
All right.
I mean,
let's go.
Yeah, them losing to Illinois kind of didn't. I mean, I doubted them after that. I don't think they could compete. I mean, I love St. Bonds a lot. I think Kyle Lofton's probably gonna be one of the funnest players to watch throughout the tournament. Like I said, he's like the most underrated player, and everyone's gonna see what he's capable of, and they have the size, and I think they have the guard play to compete with them. So I could see I mean, I wouldn't say like a blowout, but I could see them beating them pretty good, embarrassing them.
Yeah. DJ, where do you have Michigan?
Yeah.
I had them. So I made my bracket in the hopes that Isaiah Livers is at least coming back for one of these games. I had them losing to Alabama in the Elite 8. Okay. So I had to balance that without Livers. I think they're going to make a second round or Sweet 16 exit. But if he's in the equation, I think that, I mean, it's still a good team. I kind of look at the Illinois game as an outlier. Illinois played phenomenally. I think they're a better team, but
they would have beat anyone that day.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I think Alabama is probably the 4th best team in this tournament. If I had to,
so you have Alabama's in the Final Four beating Michigan.
Yep.
What are your other 3?
So like Jose, I had Gonzaga. So I mean, he kind of said it all. 3 like All-Americans. Like the team is phenomenal. Like no one's touching them. Only Illinois, Michigan, and Gonzaga are top 10 in KenPom offensive and defensive adjusted efficiency. So I have no qualms about that. That is the easiest region by far. The next one, instead of Baylor, they do have some defensive issues, and they didn't look as good down the stretch, in my opinion. Now, I think they're a phenomenal team. I do think that Arkansas can give them a test just defensively. So I actually kind of had that as a little upset. And then in the other region, I had Illinois. I had Bama playing Illinois for the title and Illinois winning it. Now it's kind of a mixed bag. I put in 2 brackets every year. I had the complete opposite in the other one. So I got to go with my my Illini, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't be shocked if Bama could overcome them. So,
all right, I think I have some similarities with both you. I too have Gonzaga, and I won't repeat what you guys said. They're undefeated for a reason, even though they do get to play Pacific and fucking Pepperdine, whatever.
and then you bet on them.
Yeah, and then I bet on the big giant spreads, whatever. One team I don't think we've talked about a lot in the South region, and this would really scare me, but Ohio State beating Baylor in the Elite Eight, which means that I would have them playing Illinois for a fourth time in the Final Four, which I would probably throw up during. And then in the East region, I got UConn, man. So it's, Ohio State and UConn. UConn, a lot would have to happen for them to be able to do that. But again, I like St. Bonaventure over Michigan in the second round. So things just get real wild after that happens. Right. Anything can happen. I don't really believe in Texas. Bama, it's more just spite because I don't want them to be good. But if it wasn't UConn, I'd probably pick Bama as well. But yeah, I got Illinois over Gonzaga in the final. So that means Illinois has to beat Ohio State for a third time. And if Illinois gets to the Final Four and has to play Ohio State and they beat them again, I will take them against anyone, because that game against Ohio State on Sunday was insane. Just absolutely insane.
That was a great Big Ten championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. So
no one talked about West Virginia. I know a lot of people are high on them as well.
I had a future on them early, but I kind of fizzled off of the train there. I don't know how confident I am in the Big 12.
A lot of people say they're like the second best conference. So.
I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous they'll give Houston a run for their money. Having them in the Final Four, they're just well coached. Their coach is one of the best. So,
Bob Huggins.
Yes, sir. And they have. I like McBride, and they have some shooters on there that could really stroke it. And I know Houston's really good defensively, but they're really good offensively. And then if they're going to play each other, it'll be definitely a good game. And I could definitely see them upsetting our Houston, even though it probably wouldn't be that much of an upset. But they could definitely sneak their way in there as well.
Yeah.
I got a real question for you. Do Tulane and Tulsa play every game against each other? I swear to God, if I watch an American Conference game, they're playing every time. And the score is 50-40. But
always. Especially football.
Cody, what were you going to say?
Well, I was going to mention another team we haven't really talked about, and that's Texas Tech. They got Utah State in the 6-11 in the South region. I actually have Utah State winning that game because I just don't really believe in Texas Tech. I know a lot of people are high on Texas Tech. I'm just not. I've watched a little bit of Utah State. At the very least, I'll take them to cover. But in my bracket, I have Utah State as an upset possibility. So I don't know what anyone thinks about that.
McClung's good.
Yeah, I was going to say McClung could be one of the funnest players to watch too coming into the tournament.
That's
I don't know. I can just see him hitting like a buzzer beater or something crazy.
Yeah. I remember he did have Texas Tech had a huge comeback, or not a huge comeback, but like a big comeback in the final like minute and a half or something against, I want to say it was West Virginia, but I can't remember. And McClung scored like the last eight or 9 points or something like that. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I can see him just doing damage in the tournament for sure.
Yeah, and they have a good coach, and their program's been really good. They were in the Final Four a couple of years ago. I understand the narrative. I don't know. I don't know.
Utah State kind of reminds me of like BYU's little brother.
Yeah, yeah. a bunch of, they, I mean, they're all in Utah. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Exactly.
All right, guys. Well, I don't got anything else. If there's anything else you guys want to throw out there, I think this was fun. Maybe the next time we'll be a little bit more structured, but just being able to get out here and talk a little March Madness is always fun. So, you can follow. I guess I'll let you guys tell you guys your Twitter handles. You can follow me at Cody on Tap on Twitter, where I'm always tweeting about all kinds of stuff, including bets. So, DJ, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, you can follow me at CWSDJT. It's in the tagline there. Give out picks daily. I'll probably put out another future too, just to have a little more information and reasoning behind these bets. So go ahead, Jose.
You guys can follow me on Lock Chi-Town right there. I give out free plays all the time. NBA, college basketball. I'm definitely excited to give out college basketball this weekend. I know I'll be slated up, so there'll be a lot of plays out there for free. So if you guys want to follow, I'm always giving out plays.
Just look at his pinned tweet. That's all you need, man. That's all you need. Just look at that, and then you trust. That's exactly. That's all I needed to see. That's all I needed to see whenever I first
just click on the media section. You guys will see some fun plays.
Yeah.
All right, guys. This was awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yep.
It was a blast.
Good luck.